right, Beer Night followers, this is the music segment of episode 24, 4-year anniversary for life. And we're doing something that we did in episode 16 that we couldn't do because our old ass microphone that we used to have failed miserably, and we
Never
couldn't
saw the light of day.
we
Poopy-ass
couldn't
mics.
put it out because the sound was garbage. So we're gonna redo that. We're gonna do a top 5 best drummers of all time.
Are we redoing it, or are we
Re-
just going fresh?
We're going fresh, I
going
guess.
fresh,
Going
yeah.
fresh. Why not?
Sure.
But that
sure.
episode 16 just that didn't happen. It's just squash. It's gone.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend like it
Kaput.
didn't exist.
No, it
you know,
doesn't
it's just,
exist. It doesn't.
no one's the wiser.
No. Top 5 drummers of all time.
5.
Please leave a comment of your top 5 drummers. We'll give you ours. Who wants to go first?
Don't matter.
I don't want to. I go first all the damn time. So I don't
So
wanna
go first again.
No. I'm done. It's ridiculous. I'm done. Who wants to
Okay,
go first? this time?
I'll go first. How about
All
that? Or
right.
no, let's make the guest first.
Guess. Guess.
Ah,
Go
it's always
first.
Yeah, guest goes first.
Yes. Pull out your phone. Give me your top 5 best drummers of all time. Then after that, you can give us some of your honorable mentions.
So
as
at
well.
number 5, we got Bill Ward from Black Sabbath.
Bill
5,
fucking
though.
Ward.
Bill Ward, yes.
Bill
Ward.
fucking
Number 5.
Ward. The one and
Number 5.
only.
Number 5.
Why? So you're gonna
That's-
give us a little blurb.
Yeah.
or something.
I enjoy the other drummers on the list a little
Yeah.
more, maybe.
No,
Okay.
well,
I
no.
like-
Why? But why is
Well, why
he?
Bill-
why is he
why
on the
Bill
list?
Ward?
Yes.
Oh, he's a
Why-
fucking god. I mean, if
He
you listen to
is.
fucking anything from Master Reality, the dude's just killing it. His snare drum work sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
whew. I mean,
Well,
I
what,
was just
what I like about Bill is like the sound of the small kit.
yeah.
Like doesn't have this monster
mo-
like
doesn't
prog
mo-
rock
yeah.
kit. It's just the
Yeah.
small kit, and that's why he works the snare so much and the 2 toms. He's working it,
Yeah.
and it's all about like
Killer.
kind of just
Killer.
style and flair, but within a small kit. It's badass.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, it's just old 70s, you know. Just,
Yeah.
It's ground
Starting
zero.
off, ground
Ground
zero.
zero.
You can
Black
hear,
Sabbath.
and you can almost. I feel like Bill Ward, like you can hear him like fucking headbanging while he's doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can almost like
He
hear
has
his
a
body.
mood. He has a mood behind
Yeah.
his drumming. It's definitely
Yeah.
it's an emphasis.
That's-
You can like hear his.
It's good.
You
I
can,
like that. Good
you
mood.
can hear his physicality,
yeah.
and which is important as a drummer for sure. Some of the drummers on my list definitely you hear the physicality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
Number 4, I gotta go Neil Peart from Rush.
Neil Peart.
Yeah.
Is it Peart or Pert?
Peart.
Peart.
Peart. Neil Peart.
Number 4.
My
All
apologies.
right.
I don't know how to pronounce Canadian
Yeah,
names apparently.
whichever one.
But I really like Neil Peart because I don't know, I like the intro to prog rock not intro to prog rock that Rush had, but kind of just they started it all a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
they
a
did.
sense.
He did,
And
he
it's
did.
just you can hear it all of, like I really like Hemispheres from Rush, and then, like throughout the whole album you can dude just jams.
I mean, he's
The
amazing.
dude just jams.
He's
Like,
amazing.
Amazing.
the intricacies in between the notes and this and
Yeah.
that, like it's good stuff.
I
Good
gotta
stuff.
say something though. I kind of went off board, or not off board, but I feel like Neil Peart is such an obvious choice. I didn't have him anywhere in my list.
Oh, no.
Honorable mentions or top 5.
Well, you kind of spoiled your list, but all right.
it's okay.
All right, it's fine.
I got
it's
plenty of
fine.
others.
All
It's
right,
okay.
All right. I mean, okay. What's your number 3 then?
Number 3, Alex Van Halen.
Oh, I love it.
Alex. You're going
I
Alex.
love it.
I like Alex Van
I
Halen.
love it.
a
I
lot.
love
Great.
Alex.
Yeah,
Love Alex.
He compliments just the band so well. I mean, obviously the highlight is Eddie, but Alex just I feel like goes under the radar a little bit sometimes. He just,
Absolutely.
you told me to watch a YouTube video one time of him just jamming out like a full drum solo, and dude's got a neck brace on,
Yep.
and he's just
That's his
completely-
best drum solo
completely
I've ever seen him do.
crushing it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a chance, look that up on YouTube.
It's hard to
And-
find
and
these
I've
days.
seen-
So
I've seen it.
I've
I've seen
tried
it.
to find it again. It's hard to find because he has plenty of drum solos on YouTube, but the one where he has the neck brace on is by far the best.
I found it.
It's
I found
hard-
it. I don't know. It was a couple
yeah.
years ago, so maybe they took it down.
It
or
is hard to
something.
find, but-
maybe.
But I mean,
I've
yeah,
seen
that
it,
was-
though.
You say under the radar, absolutely. He's one of the most underrated drummers ever because he really is fantastic. I mean, all you gotta do is listen, just like Hot for Teacher and stuff. Like even when
Yeah.
live, I mean, he was like most drummers.
Yeah.
He was more dynamic live in the studio. He kind of pulled it back a little bit. but live he was amazing. But then he had some moments where his studio recordings were nasty. So he did a lot of good stuff.
What's your number 2?
Number 2.
You talking me too?
Chris is gonna stab me. John Bonham.
John Bonham.
John
Why would I
Bonham.
stab you?
Number 2. I don't
Number
because I feel
2.
like you would be mad that I didn't throw him a number 1. I feel like you'd be like,
Fair, but number 2 is still
Number two,
good.
two is good.
Yeah,
I like
I
John
mean,
Bonham.
just
number
listen to the man drum.
Yeah.
Just listen to the
That
Zeppelin.
is a good
Zeppelin.
number
Listen
2.
to Led Zeppelin, and you can just.
Yeah.
I mean,
He-
especially through
he-
the early days. Yeah,
He had a original sound. He had his own. If you don't know any song from Led Zeppelin, and you put it on, and he sounds. John Bonham's drum sounds completely different than anybody else.
So
which is amazing.
he's also a super dynamic and
Yeah.
technical player without like sounding technical. Like the stuff he's doing is really difficult and technical, but at the same time, it almost doesn't sound like it. Like he makes it sound really easy. And that's hard to do, but going to what you said, the sound. So one of the great things about Zeppelin is how meticulous everybody in that band was about their particular instrument's sound, whether it's Robert Plant's voice, Jimmy Page's guitar, John Paul Jones's bass,
yeah.
and
or keys.
certainly John Bonham's drums.
Drums,
You think of the delay on the drums and when the levee breaks. The sound of his snare in
Yeah.
every fucking song they ever did, and it sounds different a lot of times on every different beat.
Yeah.
Not just on different albums, but sometimes different
Dynamic.
songs on the albums. It sounds different.
And he has by far the best top like drum intros of all time as well.
And
Like,
outros.
outros as well too. Like
Yeah.
when the levee breaks, rock and
I was
roll.
gonna say rock and roll. Yeah,
um,
that's a highlight.
What's the other one? There's another one. Fucking blanking on the name, but I can't think of it. But fucking, he has fantastic drum intros. Fucking amazing.
And
Iconic.
You can't dispute his sound and his
Yeah.
tone because so he gets compared a lot to Keith Moon.
Yeah.
And Keith Moon's a great drummer. But when you listen to Keith Moon's drumming, like the sound is very thin.
Yeah.
And Bonham's sound was so thick and big and bombastic and just epic. It just sounded so epic. And then on top of that, he was doing shit that was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was also like one of the first drummers to put like a flanger on his drums. Like, so when you hear the like it's just when he does the
Yeah,
snare
like
rolls and
snare
the tom
rolls, and
and
it's
stuff
like a
that.
fucking reverb.
Like
fucking
he's
kinda
doing all
weird
this
shit.
stuff,
Yeah.
and the effects don't replace the technicality either. The technicality is still there, but the effects just enhance it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your number one? Right, we're number one, right?
Number one,
Number
yeah.
one drummer of all times. What is it?
So happened that I had to find the T-shirt before I came here.
Oh,
Mike Portnoy.
Mike Mangini?
Mangini, right? The guy that replaced Mike Portnoy.
No,
and
Portnoy.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Portnoy replaced Mike Mangini now.
It goes back
thing?
and forth. You know, Mangini was great. I love Mangini.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mike
Mike
Portnoy.
Portnoy, big Dream Theater guy. So
Portnoy's a
I enjoy some Portnoy. I
fantastic
saw him
drummer.
live, and that. I mean, you were saying that small drum kit hits different. Of course it does. It's stupid what Bill Ward and
Yeah.
John Bonham were able to do with the type of technology. I guess you could say at the time.
Yeah.
The type of equipment they were given. But just watching like Dream Theater perform all of Metropolis Part 2
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
that was, and seeing the guy's kid just constantly just crushing it. Just he sounds better live than he did fucking on the album almost. Like it was awesome. Like I don't know, just the timing and the impact it has on certain songs, and just the time signature changes and this and that. Like listen to something like Constant Motion, I guess you could say. Like it's just that's ridiculous, dude. How he keeps up with fucking with John Petrucci is to me is it's I've never heard that before personally, but
Or something like Finally Free, the end of Metropolis
Yeah,
Part
Finally
2.
Free.
Yeah.
His fills on that, like
Yeah.
the it's not a drum solo per se.
no.
It's more like
Feels
solo
like one.
fills.
Yeah.
Like he has like fills that just like he just goes off and it's just nasty. And it's just it's just like,
He's Neil Peart on steroids.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
basically,
yeah.
It's
yeah.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Any honorable mentions? Just fucking throw them out there.
fucking
Spit them out.
So I want to pause for a second. You might not know this, but there was a time and place on this show when anytime Steve said "fucking," we would take a drink. Whoever wasn't Steve would take a drink, and so we're kind of falling behind. We haven't really followed that much anymore. I'm kind of thinking we should go back to it
I
because
like it.
he says it a lot.
Just
He's
maybe.
like, it's his filler. Most people, he says a lot too. So I was gonna say most people say He also says
But I say and fucking together.
But like his verbal pause, his verbal pause to fill the space is fucking. And so fucking what's your honorable mentions? Are they fucking yeah? What are they?
For my honorable mentions, bear with me here, please.
I'm gonna lean back, and I kind of feel.
I know he gets hated on a lot, but I'm a big Metallica guy. Lars Ulrich. I like Lars.
Lars is awesome.
Paulina Real from The Warning, because I've
Interesting.
because I become a
that's
you know
new.
I become
That's
an
new.
instant fan.
Yeah.
I listened to the first album.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, she
I
kind
like
of
her a
kills
lot.
it.
Good.
She does. Yeah.
Gary Driscoll from Rainbow.
Rainbow, nice.
I like Gary.
That's a pull.
Yes, it
I
is.
like,
Deep cut.
Deep cut.
Raymond Herrera from Fear Factory.
Yeah, I love Raymond.
Uh,
Raymond's kind of an unsung hero.
Yeah.
Because he's so influential on a
Glenn
lot of people, but he
Hoagland
kind
a
of
little
gets forgotten.
Yeah, he kinda does, yeah.
Abe Cunningham from Deftones.
That's
Very
deep.
groovy,
very
very
groovy,
groovy,
that's
and beat
deep.
driven, like
Yeah.
just but nasty, sick beats.
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoy him a lot.
Yeah.
Morgan Rose from Sevendust.
Yes.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
That is
Change
Slav
my top 5.
Eula Sevish from Ginger.
Okay.
He's
can I-
a beast.
He's great.
I might have
is
butchered that
great.
one
He's
just a little
great,
bit.
yeah. He's great.
Marco Tarvonen from Barren Earth.
Okay. There we go.
Barren Earth.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a pull.
Yes. Love me some Barren Earth.
Mattias Bender from In Morning. I know you guys
Interesting.
are
You're
not
on In
Morning
Morning.
people,
In Morning,
but I
too.
like In Morning.
I've reacted to an In Morning song, so check that out.
Okay. Mishka, I think is what his name is. From Hara Curry for the Sky. I like Hara
have
Curry for the
no
Sky.
idea.
My coworker put me on from the IT
Yeah.
department at college.
Hirikiri?
Hara Curry.
Yes.
Hara Curry.
As in the Japanese suicide?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Mario Duplantier from Gojira.
Oh, good here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Brand Daler from Macedon.
Spoiler alert.
And then Martin Axenrod from Opeth.
Opeth. Yeah.
What about Martin Lopez?
Martin Lopez? Opeth too. Yeah. All right, that's a good honorable mentions as well. Good top
Oh, great,
5. My
great.
only critique on your top 5 is Bill Ward is not lower than 5. That's my only critique I got from
You
your
mean
top
higher
5.
than 5?
Or higher
Lower than
than-
5?
I was going to say, you
Higher than
critique me
5?
for having it so
Higher-
low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so high,
Come on, guys.
low.
I mean, it's tough when you're doing top
Yeah.
5. There's so many great
Bill
ones. Like
Ward.
doing top 5 guitarists.
Bill
I was
Lord.
put on the
You gotta leave
spot.
somebody out, right?
I was put on the spot, man.
You know,
It's like we're doing top 5, I don't know, quarterbacks or top 5 NBA players. You gotta leave somebody out, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's tough.
better not leave a certain player out, but all right. I'm gonna get into my top 5. I'll do top 5 here. My number 5. Yeah.
I'm not going to go first. I'd be first.
Go for it,
I'm
Steve.
second.
Go for it,
I'm
Steve.
Second,
Sorry,
motherfucker.
second.
Well, I mean,
But
first among the hosts.
I was going to say, I'm not here all the time, man.
Yeah.
It's because my list is better than yours.
Okay, let's hear it then.
I'm gonna go number 5. Danny Carey from Tool.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, he's a great drummer.
Okay,
Great
yeah,
drummer.
Great drummer.
Great drummer.
Yeah, all right.
The thing I got from him is I love the sound of his drums that combines everything with the music. The Tool fans love, like, he's a paramythic or whatever that fucking term is. Like, he does so many cool fucking
polyrhythmic.
polyrhythmic
Polyrhythmic.
Polyrhythmic.
polyrhythmic
Yeah,
drumming
I said
and all
something.
that shit. To me, it's all about here and in the feel and the sound that comes out of his drums is fantastic. He has that amazing sound with the music, and I love it. It's fantastic.
He's a fantastic drummer.
Fantastic.
My only complaint about him has always been, I want him. I really like his grooves.
Yeah.
that he breaks into, I want him to do it more often.
Yeah.
There's too many times he hangs on the tribal beats
Yeah.
on tom rolls.
On Tom rolls. Yeah.
Like for like 3 minutes
Yeah,
straight.
we gotta
in the
change
song.
it up
It's
here,
like,
guy.
come on.
It
But-
sounds good to me. I like. I
It's
like
more of
the
a
how
song
it
structure
sounds.
thing.
It's
He's
song-
still, I mean, he's still a
song-
great, he's still
Yeah.
a great drummer,
Yeah.
obviously.
So that's number 5. I'm gonna go number 4. I'm gonna go John Bonham. Number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4.
What the fuck?
I
He
know,
should be
number
stabbing
4.
you, not me.
Number 4. I mean, Led Zeppelin, legendary. I'm blanking on the song of his drum solo. What's it called?
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
There you go. Fucking outstanding. Just
Particularly the live version.
live version too.
Which he's
on-
just like the
on,
album version is 4 minutes, the
4
live
minutes.
version is 12 and a half.
minutes.
Yeah,
What's
like-
the song remains the same version? That fucking
Yeah,
version.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
that's
The
live version.
Live version.
That's the definitive
Fantastic.
live version.
Number 3. Charlie Benante
Yeah.
from Anthrax.
Love me some Charlie.
Yeah.
Slash.
I disregarded that one.
He's doing Pantera stuff too right now. He's a beast drummer.
Music.
He
fantastic.
fucking just outright fucking just his double bass is phenomenal.
Well, and so
He-
clean.
Yeah,
So clean.
and he
Yeah.
knows where to hit on certain fucking parts in songs.
And he's so tight. Like
He
whenever,
is so
whenever,
tight.
whenever when someone, because so when it comes to the big four and thrash metal in general, a lot of people that like to act like they're in the know, they're
Yeah.
not really in the know, but they like to act like they
They
are.
like to say Dave Lombardo.
Dave Lombardo. Dave
The
Lombardo.
best.
Anytime
Period.
somebody drops Dave Lombardo, I'm like, Charlie Benante
Wipes
his
him.
ass.
Wipes
Dave
the
Lombardo.
floor.
Now that's mean. Dave Lombardo is a fantastic.
He's in my
amazing
honorable
drummer.
mentions, but
Dave
fucking
Lombardo is an
Charlie
amazing
Benante
drummer.
is
Like I'm exaggerating just to troll fucking Dave Lombardo, like
Slave
jerk offers, but because Charlie Benante deserves all of that love and then some. Because to me, he's much cleaner,
Oh yeah.
much cleaner than Dave
And
Lombardo
like
is.
just he has that precision.
Yeah.
Of just even live, like
live is even
it's
better. Like when
fucking
you see
just
when you
amazing.
see Charlie
Like, how
play
did
live,
he pull
that's when
that
you get
off? It's
when you see
fucking
Charlie
fantastic.
play live, that's where you really get
Yeah.
an appreciation
Yeah.
for him. To me, I've seen Lombardo play live. I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen Vinnie Paul play live. I've seen Lars. I've seen all of them play live. Charlie is
by
a guy.
far.
We saw Charlie play live alongside Mike Portnoy
Yeah.
and
Oh,
match
that's
Mike
badass.
on 2 separate drum kits. Match everything Portnoy was doing. Fucking boom, boom,
Yep,
beat
yep.
hit for hit. Just completely. They were synced up and just matching everything. It was nasty.
Beautiful.
Impressive.
It was nasty. Charlie's a god.
Charlie. Number 3. Number 2,
Number 2.
Bill Ward.
There you go.
That's why I'm like, you fucking 5.
So
five,
Billy
whatever.
Billy is
Ward.
Billy is ahead of
John
Johnny.
Bonham.
Yeah,
Johnny?
Billy is definitely ahead of John Bonham.
Really? Definitely?
Because yes,
What? Because of Rat Salad? Rat Salad's better than Moby Dick,
No-
or what?
his,
Honestly, neither of those are their best drum performances. to be real,
I did like Rat
I'm
Salad.
gonna, I'm
though.
gonna give.
it's awesome, but it's not his best drum
No.
performance.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give Fairy Wears Boots.
Fairy Wear
maybe
Boots?
is
Fairy Wear
his
Boots.
Best drumming, maybe around there, right around that fucking album's amazing.
yeah, great.
Bill Ward, you got me confused. Bill Ward, just watch him from the. There's footage of him from the 1970s
Oh,
playing
it's nuts.
just nuts.
He's nuts.
Just
He's
fucking just
so physical again.
physical,
Yeah.
just pounding away, and like you.
And his head's just moving all over the place.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
in that era, the 1970s, let's go 1970 to 73. Fucking just brutality. You've never seen any drummer like that.
Right.
Maybe like Keith Moon or
Keith Moon had that same kind of physicality. yeah.
or
But Keith Moon didn't have the tone.
well,
you
yeah,
know
it
what
didn't
I'm
have the tone, but just
saying? Or the aggression. Really, the aggression.
He had so much fucking just listen to War
passion.
Pigs. My fucking god.
So no,
Or even Iron Man.
Really-
the like the
He really
the
likes
top
Paranoid.
fucking like
Yeah.
just fucking ridiculous.
But so what-
Phil's
the Phil's live. That's when he.
Yeah.
So I remember. I was always into Sabbath, but I remember when they reunited with Ozzy and released the Reunion live album. I love that album so much
Yeah.
because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
Because you hear Sabbath live. Sabbath live is so much heavier than on the albums because back in the early 70s, nobody knew how to produce heavy metal. Like it was what they were doing was so unique that it was still heavy. Like you listen to those albums, Maserati is heavy as fuck.
Fuck.
Like it's heavy as
Christ.
dog. It's one of the heaviest albums of all time. But it's still not as heavy as they were live.
No.
So when I used to listen to War Pigs on the reunion album, and to hear Bill Ward's fills on that compared to the album, like the
What
dun,
the
dun,
fuck?
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
like
just
it's like
nasty.
oh my god, this is
Nasty
powerful.
shit.
It's powerful as fuck.
Yeah, Bill Ward tops them all. If it wasn't for the number one drummer, Bill Ward would be number one. But number one is your number one, Mike Portnoy. Like he,
Really? Come
yes,
on, guys.
Number one, Mike Portnoy.
Handshake there, fella.
He
I'm so
Handshake
happy
on
Mike
that
Portnoy
one.
is not my number one. We need some
He-
variety in this
yeah,
fucker.
it's just he can do them all, play them all.
Dude's
He's been in
insane.
fucking 50 bajillion bands. He can do everything and anything on the drums.
Yeah.
He can be Neil Peart. He
Yeah.
can be Bill Ward. He can be Charlie Benante. He can be him fucking self.
Mhm.
He's just fucking anything and everything.
Yeah.
He knows the drums. And he has great, even when he was in his Dream Theater phase before he quit, amazing.
Well, winery
And
dogs.
then after Dream
Winery
Theater,
Dogs is
Winery
nasty.
Dogs. You know, I hate Avenged Sevenfold, but his drumming on that
On
one
Nightmare?
album
Nightmare, yeah.
is
I listened to it the other
fantastic.
day. Terrible
I
singing.
hate Avenged Sevenfold, but his drumming,
His
I
drumming
can listen
saved
to
the
is
song.
Pretty
That's what it
much.
did.
pretty fucking much. And anything else he's done in between, he's like so many fucking different bands. Metal Allegiance, his shit on there is
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal drummer. He is an epiphany of what you should be if you're starting.
An epiphany?
An epiphany of a
I
drummer.
think you mean
An epitome.
the epitome. Yeah,
Epitome.
the epitome, not epiphany.
I had an epiphany that Mike
word
Porter
it
was
is.
the epitome.
If you're
of the
if
best
You're
drummers.
like fucking. You ever see the movie Hook?
Yes.
You know Hook
yes.
because of Tom.
I have.
So like when Smee and Captain Hook are talking, and Smee's like,
yeah.
I think I just had an apostrophe, and Captain Hook's like, I think you mean epiphany.
Apostrophes works too, you know.
Alright.
And he's like, and then
You-
Smee's
you
like,
might pos-
lightning has just struck my brain. And
Yeah.
Captain Hook's like, oh, that must
Yeah.
hurt.
Hey,
So if you-
apostrophe means you possess the epiphany.
So Mike Portnoy,
Anyway,
amazing drummer. I can't praise him enough on everything he's done,
I would like to
past and future
to
coming up.
backboard on that.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention. I was watching a TikTok the other day, and he was playing a Nickelback song.
Yeah.
He actually made it-
Drumeo. I was about to say that.
He, ac-
Drumeo.
he actually
Check
made
that
it
out.
sound good.
So much fucking better.
He was like, "Oh, this
Watch
song."
his
he's like, I
Drumeo
can hear
shit.
the pop, but really what it meant is like this song fucking
His
sucks.
his double bass
Like
on
that
that
was-
chorus on the Nickelback is fantastic.
He made it good.
Great shit. Number one right there. My honorable mentions. I'm gonna go Dave Lombardo, Morgan Rose. Morgan Rose, I almost had at 5. I kind of was back and forth with
Yeah.
Danny Carey. Morgan Rose just hits hard as fuck. I think that Danny Carey is just a little more technical than Morgan Rose, but fucking he hits hard.
Morgan's a beast.
Gene Hoglan,
you know,
Death, Fear Factory, any other
Death.
bands is fucking fantastic.
Fucking death.
Joey Jordison,
stop it.
fucking his fills are just crazy.
Are sloppy?
Lars
I don't know who
Ulrich,
that is.
obviously he plays to the song.
Bring
He's
your own
not too
cigarettes.
crazy, but he plays to the song. Chris Alder,
Adler.
Alder, what did I say? Yeah, from
Beers.
Lamb of
There's a D
God.
before the L.
Beers.
Braun from
Brandaler.
Brandaler from Macedon. Vinnie Paul. Hits.
I
I think
forgot
it-
about Vinny.
I think he just hits hard.
Vinny boy.
Vinny boy.
you sparked something.
hard, just a hard hitter, and knows where to put things in songs. Mario from
Gojira.
Once again.
Gojira, Ray Luzier from Korn, and he played with
He's much better out of corn than
out
in
of Korn. Yeah, he's a fantastic
He's
drummer.
good.
He knows his shit around the drum set. Jason Bittner,
Jason Bittner's amazing.
fucking just he can play. He's a thrash motherfucker.
Yeah, I love Jason.
Fucking,
Bittner.
he won like drummer of the year back in like early 2000s. Is amazing. Neil Peart, I'll give him some credit.
Peart.
he started them all with a progressive side.
I like how Steve's like, I'll give him some credit.
Give him
Just maybe some
some
credit.
some
Just
credit.
a dabble of credit.
He's Mike Portnoy's a little bit better.
Well,
And,
you see
uh,
my list. I mean,
And this one's a little bit crazy. Terry Bozzio.
Terry Bozier is
Just
amazing.
Just what the fuck is he? He's just everywhere on drums. He has a huge ass kit, and he has like crazy seminars, and he does so much fucking shit on drums. I never knew who Terry Bozzio was because I'm a big Korn fan. He played on a Korn album.
Yeah,
Like, who the fuck is
Again,
this guy?
he's better outside of Korn than
He
in Korn.
is. He is. And then so after the
They all
Korn
are.
stuff, I looked him up and like, dude is fucking nuts on drums. He definitely leveled down when he played on Korn, but fucking after that is just fucking crazy shit. So that's my honorable mentions. That's my top 5. Chris, what is your
I'm interested.
stupid shit?
I'm interested.
So
Top
okay,
5
I'm gonna
motherfuckers.
say I'm gonna start this right off the bat and say we buried the lead. Okay, we buried the lead because
did we fuck up?
there's somebody that
No,
nobody
because he
has
said spoiler.
there's somebody that nobody has mentioned here.
Who?
Buddy Rich.
Ooh.
I mean, Buddy Rich could
Buddy
be like
Rich.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1,
Yeah.
and just be like, mic drop.
Night
See you
drop,
later.
Wow.
He's kind of like Wilt.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Wilt.
Oh, yeah, Wilt. So that's your number 5, Buddy Rich.
No, I'm gonna omit him just like Wilt because you can't
Yeah,
because
can't-
otherwise
can't-
he could just own everything.
All
It's just-
right, all right.
because Buddy Rich is the original god,
Yeah.
the original drumming god. Everybody that came after him was doing shit that he would
Yeah.
try to do, especially from a jazz perspective, and didn't really quite do it with the technicality and the flair that he could do. And he was just a phenom.
Yeah.
He was an absolute phenom. He was Wilt. If we're gonna
Yeah,
make a sports
all
analogy,
right,
so.
I,
We can take Wilt out of it, we
I
can take
agree
Buddy
with
Rich
that.
out of it,
Actually, I
so-
agree with that. There you go.
So
All right.
I just thought we should mention that.
Mention
he's
Buddy
not in my
Rich.
top 5.
Well, he's the
But
goat
we
of
should, we
goat of goats.
So-
he kind of is, yeah. He really
Yeah.
kind of
Honorable
is.
mention before the listing, Mr.
Yeah,
Evans.
yeah. All right.
So number 5, I'm gonna go Lars. Honestly,
Lars,
I think
huh?
Lars,
Yeah,
Lars
okay.
belongs in the top 5
yeah.
for
It's
one.
not a bad idea. Yeah,
No,
it's not a
he
bad idea.
absolutely belongs there. First of all,
right.
because in this day and age, he is absolutely underrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Big time.
because everybody is so focused on trying to shit on him.
He's crushing it.
Is so focused on trying to shit on him
Yeah.
that they completely miss what he does great. He doesn't have to be the most technical drummer of all time. I don't give a flying fuck. But what he does, his sensibilities,
Yeah.
and one of my favorite fills of all time is just the stop start triplet drop in underneath the solo in Sabbath True. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting.
Gives me half chub.
And
honestly.
it's just writing that. Like writing that. Like so many bands don't do that sort of thing. Listen to the solos in Slayer. So show me
But Slayer's better.
show me
Whoa, whoa,
show
whoa.
me a solo in Slayer that has that kind of dynamics.
Wow.
First of all, where the lead playing is as good as what Kirk is doing in Sabbath True, which
Not even
Yeah.
close.
but also just that rhythmic, like the way him and Hetfield are locked in and just take the rhythm on. We talked about this with rhythm lines under guitar.
Oh yeah,
solos
we have,
before.
we have.
The way they take you on a
Wow.
ride underneath what Kirk is doing. That's a great example right there.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the favorite things I like. There's so many other things that he's done. His fills in something like the Outlaw Torn,
Yeah.
Oh,
like the tom fills mixed with
Oh.
the double kick, just like
him live.
the sensibilities and the ideas that he comes up with, the choices that he makes.
yeah.
Now, is he the most technical drummer in the world? I don't really give a fuck. I don't really care
He gets the job done.
because
What's his number 5? Number 5 is good. That's
because
a good pick
what
for him.
because of what he does with the song is so memorable. Honestly, it's a lot like Kirk, right?
Mhm.
Kirk's not the greatest guitar player of all time. I'm not going to put him as number 1 if we're doing a top 5. But you know how many guitar players I can hum the solo of more than Kirk's solos? None.
No.
Yeah.
And Lars is live in the same vein.
Yeah.
His drum parts are so fucking memorable,
They are.
and they grab you and they hook you so much that there's just so much there to chew on. And even if you listen to an album like Injustice for All, when he was at his most technical, and he's doing shit that like any technical drummer would be like, oh shit, that's pretty crazy. You know, it's to be respected, and it's so listenable, and like every time I hear it, there just fills in like the frayed ends of sanity, and all. I could go on and on and on. There's so much great stuff there, but I'm two of the albums that I mentioned, Sabbath True and the Outlaw Torn, are where he played more bluesy and more rock oriented, but he was still doing sick ass fills and sick ass drop ins to beats and stuff that just accented the song so much.
It does.
And that is so important as a drummer. I'm looking at you, Slayer.
All right. Dave Lombardo.
I know I always talk shit on Slayer. I do. I like Slayer.
Slayer's good,
but they're
for
not
what it is.
that
It's good.
More Metallica guy.
All right, Chris, that was your number 5, Lars Ulrich. All right, number 5. What is your number 4?
What is my number 4? Indeed, I kind of forgot what my number 4 was.
You have it on the.
You interrupted.
I did not interrupt anything. We're going straight in.
Oh, my beer is
Number
spilling
4. There's no
currently.
interruption.
Killed my momentum.
There's no interruption at all.
So number 4.
His beer's bombing.
Put that anywhere,
Yeah.
sir.
Sorry.
What's number 4?
Jesus Christ.
Let's keep
Number
it
4 is
going.
Charlie Benante.
Charlie, number 4.
So,
all right.
Charlie
I had him at
Benante
3. I had him
is
3, Evan at 4.
The
all right.
unsung, we just talked about this
We did a
briefly
little
before.
bit,
The unsung hero of the Big Four. He is so underrated, and he is such an amazing drummer. If you listen to Anthrax albums, he's amazing. And just always, he's the best musician in that band.
He
I mean,
is.
that's just the
By
bottom line.
far, yeah.
Like I can give some love to Scott Ian for his tight rhythm playing. He's always on point.
Yes,
He's so reliable, just like Charlie is.
Might have to do
So-
top 5 rhythm guitar player eventually.
Yeah, so I don't know if Scott Ian will be in there, but he's close.
Close.
He's an honorable mention. So, but Charlie, and we've seen him live, and he's insane live. I've seen him live in Anthrax, insane. Seen him live in Metal Allegiance,
Insane.
playing
With
hit for hit along with Mike Portnoy,
yes.
insane. I've seen him live with Pantera, filling in for Vinnie Paul, insane. Like he's just good no matter what. He's so one of the most reliable
That's
drummers in the business.
dynamic
One of
and
the best in the business.
Yes,
period.
yes,
End of story.
all right. That's number 3. That's number
3,
4.
Mario
3.
Duplantier.
Ooh, you're putting him in
From
your top 5.
Gojira.
You're putting me in your top 5.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
Hits the
number
soul.
3 with
All
a
right.
bullet because
All right.
he's just a monster.
He is a fantastic monster.
Just a monster, not just for his technicality, but for his fucking flat out grooviness.
Yeah.
Like he'll just hit some nasty grooves, and then the fills within the groove.
Oh,
Like I'm thinking of the outro of The Art of Dying. Right?
yeah.
Just a sick groove, but then the fills he hits and just the. It's not just like super technical hand fills. It's also like beats with the mixed in with the kick, and the hi hat and the
then it goes right in.
the China and
So
everything.
you like the outro or the intro of that song? Outro.
Yeah,
Because the groove.
groove.
So
it flows in.
the intro is
groove is intro.
the intro is super technical,
It is.
but the outro has that groove mixed
It's
with the
very
fills.
fucking groovy. Yeah. it
But then
is.
with the fills in
Yeah.
between, the way he kind of
Yeah.
just bounces and bounces, it's just, there's a swing and a bounce to it that's just nasty.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like the technical death metal stuff that he does is obviously insane, but his grooviness is what sets him apart to me.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of technical death metal drummers out there that do
Yeah.
crazy technical stuff,
Not like
but
him,
he'll bounce into a groove and bounce in and out because Gojira's at their heart, to me, is a groove metal band.
It really is.
Because they do the technical death metal stuff, but then they go into these grooves that are very Pantera influenced, that are very, Black Sabbath influenced. Like they have these groovy kind of doomy elements that separate them. And Mario, just the way he bounces back and forth, it just kind of separates him to me. Because he's so groovy and so heavy at the same time and also super technical.
I feel like it makes him a hybrid band with him. Like it like the groove death metal aspect.
Well,
is cool. Like, I
especially-
like how you mentioned that. It's hybrid. It's almost like a hybrid metal band.
Especially because they've gotten more melodic.
They have.
Oh,
a
later in the
little
career?
bit more.
But they
And
still
then,
melodic.
but he
Slow down,
but
but
he
he's
fits
still-
but he can do that.
Yeah.
Like he makes their melodic stuff so amazing. Listen to like Another World, and it's just like he just makes it so
Right.
amazing with the way he plays.
Yeah.
The drums add so much to the songs. It's ridiculous. Number 2, I'm gonna turn on brightness because it's super bright on my phone.
What is it?
It's
It's
Morgan
always
Rose.
pride on the bald head.
Ooh, Morgan Rose, number 2.
Morgan
Two.
fucking
Wow.
Rose with
That
a
is
bullet.
a leap of fucking faith right there. Number
No, it's
2.
not. Morgan Rose
Number
absolutely
2.
fulfills that
All
because
right.
he is an absolute monster. We talked about physicality of Bill
Yes.
Ward and the like. There's no more physical drummer than Morgan Rose.
I
He
mean,
is-
he
he is
beats the shit out of his drums. Yes,
Absolute
he does.
whirlwind of physicality
Yes.
behind the kit. Live, he is the best live performing drummer I've ever seen in my life, bar none, because he is just an absolute monster.
No.
He was nicknamed once upon a time the Octopus,
Man.
and it's fitting because he's literally
He's all over.
he's all over the place.
And
Like,
he has his crashes and everything up high.
Yeah.
Too, so
because
that's why.
but what's crazy? So here's what's crazy about Morgan Rose. I mentioned Buddy Rich earlier, right? Buddy Rich is super tight jazz drummer, like everything's super tight and clinical. Morgan Rose is like the opposite. Everything is swinging, but it's all perfectly in time. Like he literally has his arm swings
Yeah.
perfectly in rhythm. like it's kind of silly. It's like a circus back there.
Yeah.
And it's just perfectly in rhythm. Like, and we've seen him do shit live
Yeah.
where he throws the drumstick into the crowd in rhythm.
Oh yeah, we've seen that.
He hits, and then in beat comes up, throws it into the crowd, and then he's playing with one hand in beat, hitting everything.
Yeah.
He looks at the crowd member. It goes like this. And the
Yeah.
crowd member literally, we watched the
Yeah,
person
I've
right
seen
fucking
it.
next
I've
to us
seen it.
Yeah.
throw it
Yeah.
back to him. He catches it and then comes down on the snare in beat perfectly in time. And all while his head is going like this. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, he's insane and screaming into the mic, although
Yeah.
he doesn't scream really anymore because he blew out his voice.
Yeah. So it's like
So-
playback. I don't know what it is.
Right?
He acts like
So-
he does.
But it was much better when he was actually
Yeah.
screaming because it was super intense, and that was, to me, that's him intensity.
Yeah.
He was the picture of intensity, especially in a live performance. Nobody was more intense than that guy, especially back when he was still screaming. Nobody was more intense than that guy. It came through in his body too, not just his face and his voice. The way he played, the way he hits, his arms are just going crazy the whole time. I don't know how he doesn't fucking wear himself out.
I mean, he has
Because
back.
there's no-
I know he has back problems. He's said it in interviews.
But he still kills. He still
does, he
kills.
does.
And he's still like, I don't know how his arms aren't exhausted.
One
Like,
hell
how
of a
is he
chiropractor.
doing all this perfectly in time? Perfectly in time. That's the key, is that he's not tight. It's just
Yeah.
he's all over the place, but perfectly in time. It's nothing but style. It's pure style. But
Number 2
pure,
over
pure power
Lars
at the same
Ulrich.
time.
Style and precision.
I'm
the same
Pure-
surprised.
yes,
Over Lars
it's
and
precision,
Charlie?
it's style, and power all at
Alright,
the same time. And
alright.
attitude and physicality. It's everything all
Alright.
rolled in one.
He's like a good tight end. You know.
I could
This
see.
guy.
I could see him in your
Also,
top 5.
what I talked
But
about
number
with-
2.
What I also talked about with Mario, the grooviness.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Morgan has that in spades. But the way he drops into a beat, like
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one
yeah.
drops into a beat like Morgan Rose. Nobody.
Well, take
Nobody.
take something like Scapegoat. Scapegoat.
Well,
Like, that's just
and just like he'll do a fill and
Yeah.
then just drop into a beat that's
Beat, yeah,
just
drops.
super heavy and nasty. And then when you see that live, it's so powerful. The way that he does it, it's ridiculous. Anyway,
What's your number
good
1?
stuff.
Number 1 is Bonham.
yeah.
John Bonham. Number 1. All right.
Takes it to number 1.
So
I'm surprised he's number 1 for you.
to me, like
not.
he's the perfect mixture of power,
Yeah.
style, technicality, attitude, physicality, and production. And he had a say in how his drums sounded. He produced his drum sound. Everything you hear is because it's the way he wanted it. And like, to me, he's just quintessential.
Yeah.
Like, he could play in any band, he could play anything.
Truly.
But not just from a technicality standpoint, but from an improvisational standpoint. When you hear them play live, the stuff that Bonham is doing when Page is going off on his
Yeah.
crazy solo tangents, because that's what he did in the 70s, Bonham accents what he's doing. Like one of my favorite Page solos of all time is the live version of No Quarter from the original Song Remains the Same, not the remastered one where they cut down the time.
Yeah,
The
Stupid ass
original.
Spotify.
The original. And when you hear like the just I remember there's one part where it bottom just is this snare snap to the cymbal. And he does shit like that all the time and then just breaks back into the beat, holds down the beat, and then comes back in with a crazy fill somewhere else. And it's a live band playing live. And you don't hear that anymore. You just don't. Because bands don't improvise anymore. They don't play jam sections like that anymore. So it's really a thing of the past.
It's all playing out.
And to hear the power that he had when he was doing that it's godly. It really is godly. And so it's something that's magical to the 70s era. And to me, Bonham was at the absolute top of it. So.
I mean, I can't go wrong with John Bonham, number one. That's fantastic. No Mike Portnoy at all in your top 5?
So honorable mentions.
Fucking just-
Honorable mentions. So here's my issue.
Fuck with the fuck-
Here's my issue with Mike Portnoy. He's in my honorable mentions. He's a fantastic drummer.
He
He's
is,
amazing.
yeah.
He's incredible. He's not my top 5. For one,
I
he's a
disagree
little
with that.
he's a little too clinical for me.
Too
Aren't you a
precise?
guitar player, Billy? Like
Too
clinical?
precise?
You like precise?
Petrucci's not in my top 5 guitar players. If we want to jump ahead,
All right. Whoa.
because Petrucci's amazing, but he's
Oh.
also a little too clinical.
All right.
So
All right. I didn't know that was a bad thing.
it's not a bad thing. It just
sounds like it to me.
it puts him out of the top 5. If you want to consider that a bad thing, that's your own.
Yeah.
It's your own personal opinion. But again, not
Hot
everybody
take,
can
hot
make the top
take.
5. Not everybody can make it. It is what it
true.
is.
It's true.
You got to leave somebody
You're
out.
right.
Portnoy is a fantastic drummer.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I will say that I don't want to say knocks Portnoy down because that sounds negative. It doesn't knock him down. But
No.
here's Mike Mangini was great in Dream Theater. Now, Mike Mangini didn't play in like the Winery Dogs, for example,
Right.
and
I
other
mean,
things that Portnoy is. Portnoy's
That
a
was
great drummer.
different. Yeah.
He's great. He's fucking great. He's in my honorable mentions, not my top 5. Period.
All right.
So,
Okay.
Gavin Harrison, honorable mention. Gavin Harrison
Hmm?
is one of the best prog drummers on the face of the planet. I might. I'm not saying I will. I might take him over Portnoy. I might.
What band is he playing?
Porcupine Trees. is
Porcupine
most-
Tree.
Porcupine,
That's what I
yeah.
thought it was. But I can't-
So
okay.
do yourself a
Yeah.
favor, watch him perform Anesthesize.
The size. Yes, I've seen it.
Well, that song's just ridiculous in
It's-
general.
But
dude.
watching
Come
him,
on.
but watching him play,
Play it live.
the way he plays it, he makes
Yeah.
it look so simple, yet he's
Yeah.
so technical
Yeah.
all at the same time. Like it's just, and all the time he's got like his eyes closed, like
Well,
his head's rolling.
the
like
build
this.
the build up to that song is
and
Chills.
he's just
yeah.
incredible, but also can do like psychedelic Pink Floyd-y type stuff.
It does.
And he's
Yeah.
a fucking great drummer.
Yeah.
Very, very underrated.
Yeah.
Most people don't know who he is, and he's one of the best prog drummers in
I
the
forgot
business.
who
And if you
his
want to be
name was,
if you
but-
want to be a prog drummer, you already have to be insanely great, like insanely great.
Mhm.
And that he's still one of the best of that entire genre. So,
All right.
Bill Ward, I mean, fucking Billy. Again, not
your
everybody
top-
can make the
you're-
top
you're-
5.
Everyone
you're-
else's
you're
top
a
5.
Black
Not-
Sabbath
that's
fan,
just-
not your top
Not
5.
everybody can make the top 5,
insane.
dude. You gotta leave
It's
somebody out.
insane.
I've
Yeah,
always,
so
always
insane.
heard you rave about Bill Ward.
Yeah, because he's fucking amazing.
I know he is.
I
But
would-
there's
I
only
would-
5.
I would put him over
Only
the,
5.
You're just
uh,
all right.
the Gojira drummer. I would
Yeah.
put him over there.
No, I'm
I
taking
would.
Mario over Bill Ward.
I would
I
put
love
Bill
Bill
Ward.
Ward. I'm taking Mario. I'm taking Mario for sure.
Mario's pretty
Mario's
crazy, man.
insane.
Yeah, he is pretty
Stop it.
insane.
I love Bill Ward, but Mario is
Oh
insane.
my
Brandaler from Macedon
Yeah.
is insane. His
Macedon.
hands, his hands
His
are the
snare
fastest.
work. His snare. I didn't
His
mention
hands-
this, but his snare work.
Yeah.
Is
His
fucking
hands,
amazing.
his hands are the fastest in
Yeah.
the
He
business.
They are.
sings, doesn't he? Too?
Yeah,
he
he's a great
sings
singer.
too.
He's
Singing.
great at singing. Yeah.
Drums.
And his hands are the fastest in the
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
and his hands are super technical.
Yeah.
And he got great feel, great sensibility. His
Yeah.
fills are insane. Brandaler is, I mean, you gotta
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta listen.
You gotta
to him
honor
play.
that.
You
At
gotta
least.
listen to him.
Yeah.
Jason Bittner.
Yeah.
Jason Bittner to me will play the most technical shit, but make it sound super simple.
Yeah.
That's his talent.
Yeah.
Like he makes it sound so easy. Like it's just so rhythmically sound
Mhm.
and just so on point that it almost sounds easy. Like you almost think like I can play that.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I've
No,
tried.
you
I've
can't.
actually tried.
Yeah,
and
no,
no, I
you
can't.
can't.
Wait, which band? I'm not familiar
Shadows
with.
Fall.
Shadows Fall.
Oh, well,
Jason Bittner.
yeah, well,
Shadows
I
Fall.
don't
And-
know.
and
if
now-
Shadows Fall, fellas.
Well, maybe you should. Yes, probably should.
They're coming
Next
back.
episode.
New album coming soon this year, I think.
That's sick.
Ready for it.
That's super sick.
So,
Tour
a very, very, very unsung drummer from the 90s, Matt Cameron, definitely belongs in the honorable mentions. Matt Cameron is an amazing drummer. The stuff he did with Soundgarden was ridiculous, and he was kind of like a modern day Bonham, not quite there. I'm not. That's why his honorable mentions not in top 5, but he had a lot of the same sensibilities, and rhythmically, he would do stuff rhythmically that was insane, like the timings that he would keep, because Soundgarden did a lot of stuff in off time, and Cameron was always perfectly on point.
Yeah.
His stuff with Pearl Jam, whatever. But the Soundgarden shit was where I was at.
Something like Slaves and Bulldozers. Crushed. Yeah.
Or Jesus Christ pose,
Jesus
like his
Christ
drumming
pose,
it's because the timing in that is so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's as a drummer, that's so hard to keep, and there's so many other things great that he did. And a very groovy drummer as well, like the grooves that he would come up with, like he would make it sound so simple, yet what he was doing was actually kind of technical. And he did a lot of great shit. Alex Van Halen, another great example of that.
Yep.
He would be doing something pretty
Alex.
technical, but make it sound super simple and serving the song. And he was one of the, I don't want to say pioneers, but he in the glam rock or mainstream rock genre of the 80s, he was one of the pushers of like double kick and stuff, right? Because
Well, he made
that
the
was happening.
sound good.
That was
Happened
happening.
in the mid 80s,
Well,
early 80s.
but underground, not in mainstream rock. Mainstream rock was very, very, very AC/DC, Aerosmith.
yeah.
Van Halen was different. Van Halen had that choppy kind of beat, almost like the thrash metal bands were doing.
Yeah.
But the thrash metal bands were underground. Alex was doing it kind of more in the mainstream, and he was also doing more classical, kind of like almost like Buddy Rich type stuff too, and they kind of flew underneath the radar. He was doing a lot of crazy stuff. Mike Portnoy, we mentioned, great. Not much more to be said about him. Gene Hoglan, the Atomic Clock.
Oh yeah,
You can't fuck with
amazing.
the Atomic Clock.
I think his double bass is the reason why his fucking double bass is
And if I'm gonna go death drummers, because Gene Hoglan's played a lot more than just death, but death is kind of where he got his original start. Put him on the map. Richard Christie, another great death drummer.
That is our top 5s, our honorable mentions. Let us know in the comments what is your top 5 drummers of all time. Let us know who got it wrong, who got it right. What is your list? Put it in the comments.
Mine's the best.
I still baffled by Chris's Mike Portnoy's not in his top 5. I am baffled by it.
Stop sucking
I'm
Portnoy's
just-
dick. Mike Mangini was just as
I'll
good.
swallow it and everything else.
know,
It's just
He
ridiculous.
was pretty good. I
It's
agree.
just fucking crazy.
I just like Dream Theater, man.
Charlie Benante.
Charlie Benante, yes.
Underrated.
I agree with
Played
you.
everything
I
that
don't know.
Portnoy
I
was
did
doing.
not even mention him. I don't know why.
Charlie
I don't know
Benante
why.
played everything that Portnoy was doing live on the spot.
Yeah.
All right.
Portnoy's still great. Don't get me
Sure.
wrong. Great.
Again, subscribe. Let us know in the
It's not top
comments
5.
on what you think. Well, what's next? Movies and TV shows is coming up next for our 24th episode 4-year anniversary.
really
for life.
love. So normally I'm in that seat, but at this point I,
know,
really
it's-
love how Dirty Harry just wants to drop
Drop
his barrel down on the back
me.
of Steve's head right now.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
just love it. He's just like, shut the fuck up, Steve. I just want to
Just end this fucking segment,
Like,
will
I'm,
you?
just, I'm gonna drop
And,
it down.
and then Rocky's all happy about it right next to him. You know, he's like, "Oh shit, you shoot his ass there, guy." Yeah.
Do
drop
it.
the, drop the
Championship
44 Magnum
level.
down. The 44 Magnum's coming down. Boom. Segment's over.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bada
Done.
bing, bada boom.